and I can't react. so so we can't really. It's not a reaction. I feel like three of us here have very diverse thoughts on what the song represents.
We people living in the same country are not agreeing on the same thing that he's probably saying, and you coming from some other country who don't even live here are saying this is the way he probably meant.
I know.
But Hanumankind represents the anxiety of ABCD. I mean, it's wrong.
Confused desi, I understand.
Desi,
Okay.
Where they have an anxiety of who am I? Where do I actually belong? Do I belong to American country?
On a personal note, or
On a
is
personal note. On a very personal note.
because his songs are definitely Indian. Like
No, on a very personal note.
it's like every artist, unless you do an IT job or something like that, if you value your art so much, I feel like you have to risk it all. Like that is the basic difference between somebody who has confidence and who knows his art, and like he's risking it all. He doesn't care about money.
I watched the video first. I did not listen to the song first.
Okay.
I did not know what was I getting into. I only saw Hanumankind. Okay, let's go. I saw the video, and then when it cuts to
He's a wolf. He's the leader of the pack.
But see, if you notice,
but
the followers are after him.
Yeah. But something happens very interesting in between. In the same shot, the same quarry, something very interesting happens. We'll get there.
Ananya Pandey and Siddharth
Yeah.
Chaturvedi, like they talk about how
struggle.
it's where your
आपका struggle जब यहाँ खत्म होता है हमारा उधर शुरू
yeah.
होता है. He wants to change things. He wants to be the change
And
here.
that you see
He
the
means
video,
it.
audio,
Everything changes.
Everything.
Edit pattern also changes.
Okay.
And then he bumps it up. It's crazy how he does it.
There are a lot of problems that you and I and Prithvi as Indians, we understand it because we've been there, we have seen it. But if you give that to somebody from West, they don't know how to deal with
Yeah,
it.
but they feel entitled to talk about us.
Exactly.
It's a problem.
Exactly.
That's a white man's problem, right?
Yeah.
Look at how culturally rich the video is.
Yes.
Right? And
Yes.
it's not typical hip hop where you go diss another person, nothing like that. He's talking about some very authentic problems, very, very relatable things on very minute details that all of us have been through at some point in life.
Hanumankind is staged in the scenes. I mean, we start with him being chased, right? He's getting chased out, but then there is a shift. There's a shift in the song. There is a shift in the beat, shift in the video, and his lyrics where he says, "No, I will change it. You follow me. We are going to change this."
The sun is up, so wet it down. Get your money up.
English, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
English,
Yes.
okay?
Let's go, boys. What's up? What are we doing here?
Andarki namaskaram. Chitra Alochana Podcasts swagatham. Why are we here?
What are we doing? What is this about?
Welcome back. We never had a debate on what nepotism is because we wanted to define it.
So
Okay,
what?
why are we here?
So wait, what does he mean by that? I'll explain what he mean by that in a minute, because we keep getting messages from people who are enthusiastic about joining this team per se, and they think they can join the team just by interacting with us on say Instagram DM or Discord DMs or whatever.
Okay, then it's not nepotism but networking.
No, by definition it is nepotism because you know us.
Yeah.
So that's
But it's also not. But
See, it's like the pro side of tolerating all the nonsense of Sandy and Prithvi, right?
fair.
Has to have a pro side at some point.
yeah, fair point.
So yeah, why are we here?
So today we're gonna talk about Hanumankind's Run It Up song. I think this should be called a mini podcast and maybe not a podcast. I don't know how long we're gonna do it, but
Yeah.
I
I don't know if it's a reaction or a podcast.
I don't think it's a reaction. We've already seen that, and
True.
Yeah.
and I can't react. So we can't really. It's not a reaction. I feel like three of us here have very diverse thoughts on what the song represents. And I haven't looked a lot about the reaction videos. I feel like if it's coming from a foreigner, I don't think it's authentic. Like they don't know what goes on, what shit goes on in our country, what are the good and bad things. So let's see what our take on the song is.
Right.
Let's play the first verse then.
No, so before that, I don't know if this is intentional or not by Hanumankind, but Big Dogs ends with this.
The word run it up. Yeah.
Big Dogs ends with saying, "Money on my mind, we gonna run it up. See what you're gonna find, baby, push your luck. We've been on the grind, we better getting up. We ain't got the time for you fucking bumps. Money on my mind, we gotta run it up." Big Dogs ends like this. And why is this important is because Big Dogs put Indian hip hop on the scene. Like,
Yeah.
so there was a lot of stuff going on with people like Siddharth, people like Krishna, people like Raftar doing a lot of stuff in Hindi. But Hanumankind with Big Dogs put it on the map because he has that Texas accent,
Yeah.
which a lot of rappers. So I'm not a big hip hop fan. I became an Indian hip hop fan or a desi hip hop fan.
Mostly because of hustle.
Also because of hustle, but also then I discovered a lot of music from India and Pakistan.
Okay.
Like see them all. Like I love them. Or like there is this rapper called Aleem RK from Pakistan.
Okay.
I find him very relatable for some reason. But the thing with Big Dogs is Big Dogs put Indian hip hop on the map of global charts. And the thing with Hanumankind is Hanumankind, like he looks he's a very brown guy, but has a very hood attitude, like a New York hood attitude.
Yeah.
He wears a
yeah.
Beanie, basically.
with a big
Yeah.
with a big bulky body, a proper mustache, and he looks like a gang. Like if people have played GTA San Andreas, he looks like the character.
Yeah, by the way, that white tank top is called a wife beater
Achha.
for whatever purposes, but yeah.
Okay.
So he look, yeah, so GTA San Andreas is actually an accurate example for how Hanumankind looks, or how I perceived him when I first saw one of his videos. Obviously, Hanumankind's Big Dogs was one of the first things that I saw about him.
And when I listened to Big Dogs, I still did not like fully understand the essence of Big Dogs, but like I listened to Big Dogs after I listened to Run It Up again. He speaks about the same things.
I know. Like
Right,
I feel
right,
like
right.
he has a lot of verbiage that he repeats, and I think one thing about what I relate about Hanumankind a lot is he talks a lot about the underdog attitude.
Right.
Right. Like
Right.
if you look at Big Dogs, and we're gonna talk about it a little further and Run It Up, but it talks a lot about the struggles of our country. I think there's a lot of I have seen some people just say that it's just purely cultural. I agree that there's no dissing and all, but I love a song when it's open-ended. Like you can comprehend something else that you relate
Right.
to. I can
Correct.
comprehend something
Correct.
else from it.
Correct.
When it's not like objective but subjective a lot, I feel like a lot of those things you relate to on a personal level. Like a lot of these songs, I listen to DHS Desi hip hop a lot. Even if I like two three sentences, if I relate to on a personal level, I feel like I listen to the entire song. So I feel like when it's Hanumankind, obviously the West relates to it because of his accent.
Yeah. So
That's the point.
And he had
I
faced
mean,
problems too, right?
I'm kind of on the fence about that particular aspect of Hanumankind, which is he was born into it. He did not inherit it or whatever. But
Hanumankind represents the anxiety of ABCD. American
I-
born,
confused Desi, I understand.
Desi,
Okay.
Where they have an anxiety of who am I? Where do I actually belong? Do I belong to American country?
On a personal note, or
On a
is
personal note. On a very personal note.
because his songs are definitely Indian, like
No, on a very personal note.
okay.
Because he's brought up there, he listened to music there. And then, but he also identifies whatever is going on in his home is something very culturally deep rooted. And somehow, I don't know how this happened. I haven't listened to Hanumankind speak about this. I haven't listened to any podcast. But he somehow relates a lot to the Indian identity.
Right,
Because
right,
in
right,
2017, he released an album which talks about Kalari Patru.
Kalari.
Yeah,
Yes.
which is also in the video.
Yeah, Kalari Patru. It's literally the title of the album. Kalari.
We've seen Kalari Pattu, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we've seen it live in Munnar.
Right.
Okay, should we go ahead and like play the first?
Yeah, we'll go ahead with Run It Up. We'll see where this runs.
Let's look at the video.
Run it down. The sun is up. So run it down. Get your money up. I put money down on all of us, on my people now, on what I love. Ooh, baby, it's dangerous. Your problems.
Okay. I feel like I can talk about every
Verse, every phrase.
yeah.
Every phrase.
Yeah, I mean, run it up is basically like it's a slang word for to earn money, right?
Right.
That's what
Right.
run it up means.
Right.
We know that.
Speak into the mic.
Yeah. So, run it up, sun is up. To when it's down, get your money up. I put my money down on all of us, on my people now, on what I love. I feel like, I think the last sentence is really interesting. Like, on my people now, on what I love. I feel like a lot of this song is actually what Hanumankind actually did. You know, like, it's like every artist, unless you do an IT job or something like that, if you value your art so much, I feel like you have to risk it all. Like, that is the basic difference between somebody who has confidence and who knows his art, and you know, like, he's risking it all. He doesn't care about money. At 20s, at 30s, we're concerned about getting married, having a good job, having a family. But if you look at any artist, right, they first believe in their skill, and we know there's a lot of competition in that field. It's open and it's not like an exam they can crack. So if you look at the first verse, at least just look at how I'll talk about the lyrics first and see what you all think also. But run it up, the sun is up, right? So he spoke about being the big dogs, how he roams around with big dogs. Now he actually talks about making it money. So a lot of it, there's a parallel that is drawing to the real life. Whereas, like, after Big Dogs has become famous, he's earning a lot of money. He's actually, you know, run it up when the sun is up, to when it's down, get your money up. I put my money down on all of us. If you look at most of Hanumankind's videos, it's mostly the same crew that works for him, right? I mean, Parimal has been with him long. There's Bijoy who directs.
And
I
mean, so if you look at Big Dog also, if you look at the edit, it is very good. Like,
I know.
it cuts to the beat. In Big Dog also, like, there is a beat where he bitched up underground at look at the cut there.
Yeah.
It is very cool. Like, you don't see, like, it should be in a proper commercial cinema. That
Right,
cut
right,
should be in a
right,
proper
right.
commercial cinema.
Right.
Where a mainstream hero dances to that beat. Like, it is that level. He does, like, whatever it makes. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And again, on my people now, on what I love, right? I think Hanumankind has also like worked various jobs for companies, and then he decided to pursue his like, I know.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. I think I've seen some interview. I don't think this was a recent one or somewhere. I've seen that he's worked corporate jobs. So I know that he's doing what he loves. He's tried couple of things and he's creating this kind of music right now. So I feel like a lot of this is, like, if you look at it, this is very, on a personal note, on a personal note, he's telling what he's about and also what is going on in reality though, right? Yeah.
Standing. Like, bit.
Yeah. And like, even look at the video, like, it starts on very like slow motion. The Run It Up has a font.
So I was waiting for when you would get to the video part of it.
I think out of the three of us, you would talk a lot about video.
I mean, look at how insane this one shot is. Of course, this shot repeats in multiple angles. The same shot. Apparently, I mean, I've seen only one BTS video of it where the director is actually directing the crew, and it's below 5 seconds. The shot is below 5 seconds. I've seen only one video, so I'm open to corrections. But below 5 seconds. But this is obviously shot in a quarry. This particular shot. So there are multiple cameras. All of them are shot on high frame rates, and I mean, I discovered this song. Like, I mean, a friend shared this song in a group, and then I watched the video first. I did not listen to the song first.
Okay.
I did not know what was I getting into. I only saw Hanumankind. Okay, let's go. I saw the video, and then when it cuts to the actual song actually opens with the Malayalam drums, right?
Yeah.
But the edit here has discarded the starting drums. So it starts with tuck 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 and then goes run it up. So it starts with him running through in slow motion.
Yeah.
So it caught my attention with the first frame
And
itself.
you're not a very big Indian hip hop fan, right?
No, not at all. I mean, I haven't discovered. I mean, I haven't been listening to much hip hop, much Indian hip hop for the past 3-4 years, in which it was actually booming. So whatever was happening in Hustle, whatever Sandy was listening to. So whenever he used to listen to something, if he posted on a story or if he sends it to me, I would listen to the song. So
Okay.
Krishna is someone.
Yeah.
He I mean, I discovered through him Krishna or King or say Hanumankind because of Big Dogs, or I mean Raftar and see them all. The other ones from Gully Boy, of course.
Okay.
So that's how I discovered. But yeah, coming to run it up, we'll go with the video. And
Yeah.
No, it's very interesting how he starts the video, right?
yeah.
He's sort of the one that is leading the.
Leading the pack. Leading
He's
the pack though.
Yeah, he's a wolf. He's the leader of the pack.
But see, if you notice,
Followers, but
the followers are after
something-
him.
Yeah, but something happens very interesting in between. In the same shot, the same quarry, something very interesting happens. We'll get there.
So what did you understand about the people chasing him? Like are they?
No, they are not chasing him actually.
Okay.
He's sort of leading the way.
Okay.
People found his way very interesting. I'll talk about what the way is, where we want to get. Probably at the end of.
They'll find it interesting at after a point.
Yeah.
Even in the video.
Yeah. No, it's something like that. But
Yeah.
I know the direction where we want to go. Probably I'll talk it at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
As
Let's
you go.
look at.
Yeah.
They're just not the same to us. We're dealing with things you ain't seen before. We're feeling the weight of our ancestors.
So this one line, right? Can you pause it?
Time in it obvious. No help for the weak, but the lick is strong. Plenty here, boy.
So this one line where your problems, they just not the same to us. I mean, we can discuss about that for us together. But we dealing with
so
things you ain't seen before.
Yeah.
We feeling the weight of our ancestors. So this one phrase,
Yeah, I know.
it carries so much weight in itself. It represents, or it accurately captures. I mean, I tweeted this out. It accurately captures my generation's collective anxiety about things very Indian. Things that are seen day to day in our lives, with our families, in our relationships, with the society that we tackle everywhere around us, with whatever technology that we are going with. I think this particular line, which says we feel the weight of our ancestors,
Right.
he means it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So we're dealing the things that you ain't seen before is primarily because the way we look at world is completely different. It's because the way West looks at worlds is
I
completely
know.
different.
I mean,
Correct.
The problems are different. It is a first world country, we are a third world country. If you talk about what society in general is also, it's very different. We'll get to society by the end of the video, but problems are very, very, very different, very fundamental, right? We still see a lot of poverty. We still see a lot of systems in place, but not working for us, but against us.
yeah. Democracy is different, bro.
Democracy is completely different,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
so our issues are completely different, and so we keep hearing this, right? Hearing this nonsense that something like freedom of speech, which we are like, is so whatever happens in West cannot be replicated to India, which we agree. We are not saying it should not be, but what? So okay, this is coming from the conversation of what happened in Samarana, where he got removed his videos for a lame joke or lame whatever statement Ranveer Gangodia made. But our land was where debates used to happen. Manthan was a part of culture. Every nonsense used to be spoken, discarded out. So But after that, Victorian morality kicked in. We start talking whatever we used to talk, right? And now people say that our culture, which is none of us know what our culture actually is. So we usually debate a lot about God, right? What God actually is. Why do we need God? None of us know. None of us know. Do we require God? I don't know.
I why did we go to God in the first
Why
place?
we
Like,
go to God is because most of the Western world believes God in a very Abrahamic way, where there is God created the world.
Very transactional way, I would say.
God created the world. I owe everything to God. Whatever I do is God. But we do not believe it. So there is only one God, and I only owe everything to that God.
okay,
not
what
like-
what
it's not-
are we believing?
It's not like that for us. We have a God for everything.
But I don't think this is a spiritual.
No, I don't think it's spiritual as well.
Yeah,
But I'm
like-
just saying the way India looks at God and the way West looks at God is completely different.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, I see where you're going, but I don't know if that is what I take. So the way I look at it is, I'll tell you, he ended the first chorus with, I put
No,
my money down.
I'm not saying Hanumankind means it.
Yeah, like, okay.
I'm just pointing out all of the differences that we and West have.
Yeah, I mean, so the chorus ends with, I put my money down on all of us, on my people now, on what I love. Oh baby, it's dangerous. Obviously, it's dangerous too. I feel like it's not everybody's forte to believe a lot on themselves and put it on their skill.
Yeah, true.
And I feel like that's true at every level, right?
And it's very underrated in India.
Yeah.
Like people put you down for believing in yourself. What do you know?
Oh God, yeah.
What do you know? Have you seen the world? Who do you think you are?
I feel like age matters a lot in our society, where so if the norm is like somebody of who's in 30 can do so, and so if you're 25 and doing the same thing, you get questioned a lot. Oh,
Yeah.
you're not 30, you don't know what that shit is. And see,
Right,
that's what he talks
right.
about later, right? Your problems, they just not the same to us. And I can relate this on so many levels, as in, you've seen this one video where there's Ananya Pandey and Siddharth
Yeah.
Chaturvedi, like they talk about how
Yeah, struggle.
it's where
आपका
you're
struggle जब यहाँ खत्म होता है, हमारा उधर शुरू
yeah.
होता है.
So that is, again, we're not even comparing it to the West, but
Right.
even within India, it depends on what socio-economic background that you belong to, right?
Right.
The second parallel that I'm drawing is to
There are
the
two-
West and East,
Yes.
right? Again, like I have seen. I don't know. I don't think it's apt for West to comment on our democracy, our country as such. There's a lot of political stance that they don't understand. Even when you look at it, our elections are different. We are the largest
Right,
democracy.
right.
Yeah, and there are a lot of problems that you and I and Prithvi as Indians, we understand it because we've been there. We have seen it. But if you give that to somebody from West, they don't know how to deal with
Yeah,
it.
but they feel entitled to talk about us.
Exactly.
It's a problem.
Exactly.
That's a white man's problem, right?
Yeah.
And
That's a white man's
Yeah.
burden.
and again, like this is like economically wise also, like the rich, the middle, the poor. Like even when a middle class guy talks about his problems, I think poor guy has all rights and all means to say, you don't understand what I am going
Yeah.
through, right? I feel like there's a lot of depth
Yes,
in
there is
that.
this brilliant video by Varun Maya who says there are three Indias.
I know.
It was a survey.
1%, 10%.
It
Yeah.
was a survey done
80%
by-
was like below 5 lakhs poverty, like below 5 lakh income.
Yeah.
5 lakh to 30 lakhs there is a segment, and beyond 30 lakhs there is a segment. Is a person today living in Hyderabad earning 40 lakhs happy? I don't think so he is. But he's happier than a person who is earning less than 5 lakhs, right?
Yeah.
So there are three different demographics.
Yeah, I know.
That's actually based on a Indus Valley report video,
Yeah, it's
a survey that they do every year. So
Yeah.
the latest report came out recently. But anyway, yeah.
So getting to the next line is like, we dealing with things you ain't seen before. God, I think the first person that comes to my mind, in all honesty, is my mom, because
Parents basically.
yeah, parents, because see, it gets difficult to explain what anxiety is to your parents. I think my mom is a lot more understanding, and she has like she knows what we're going through a lot because she sees me, she understands me, but we dealing with things you ain't seen before. Like I can talk about this for an hour because hair fall is a real problem, okay? I am going to talk about everything. Like, see, whatever worked for their generation isn't going to work for us. Because we are the first generation that's facing that problem.
Right.
Which is a constant conversation we keep on having, right?
Yeah.
Why don't our parents understand whatever you're saying?
Yeah,
It's a
and-
constant conversation we keep having, which causes a lot of conversation around us.
And again, this can talk about global warming, climate change. So,
Technology.
when I started first, like when I mentioned that I like conversations or songs that are open ended, you take each of his sentence, right? Like we're dealing with things that I ain't seen before. You can talk about it at a global level. You can talk about AI, right? Is AI gonna be super beneficial for humans? I know it made my job a little more stressful. Now
No,
I
but
have
every technology is made.
exactly. I know, like it's a whole other debate, right? It's not just about AI. You look at how many things you can talk about
True.
just with
True,
each
true,
of
true,
his
true.
lines,
True.
right?
Agreed.
And I feel like when somebody puts their thoughts down and structures it, I always wonder like what goes on in whoever wrote this. Like,
So that's the beauty of art, that he feels something and he feels it so strong that
Yeah.
he needs to put
I know.
it down, and he needs to make it a song. Because all of us get a lot of thoughts. Not everything makes to podcast, but we still have 1 hour. He has 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I
And he
know.
does great job.
So that's what art is, right? They write, they rewrite, they rewrite, and it's basically maybe hours of conversations, hours of interaction that he may have had with plenty number of people throughout maybe an year or so, or with his crew or whoever it may be, and then those conversations got condensed down into a 3-minute
Right.
video where it is one fucking line,
Yeah.
and that has a depth.
And it hits you.
Yes.
Again, like I said, all it takes is one line that hits you to
Yeah.
listen to that.
I mean, the Ancestral line, man, it just got me.
I know.
It just
And
got me.
And we need to speak about that, because I don't think
so, before you speak, the line is we feeling the weight of our ancestors.
Yeah.
So all of us did not study what Hinduism actually teaches, right? Like we are more or less from our childhood got introduced to Hinduism via rituals, not via the philosophy of what Hinduism actually is.
First hand rituals, but yeah.
First-hand rituals, and then probably as you age, you are probably like, why should I do this? All of us are in our rebellious modes where, why should I do this? Why should
So,
I do
what
that?
is the weight that you are referring to?
No, so-
That is what I'm.
So the weight is the meaning behind. So again, we have a lot of conversations around. Okay, this has a lot of significance. Any ritual that you take, this is a lot of significance around it, and there's a lot of thought that has been put into, which is probably not being translated today. The second part is today post.
So, no, let me go back. Sorry. In the rituals, what is the weight that you're feeling from your ancestors?
It's not the weight that we
Okay.
are feeling. I'll come to that part, right?
Okay.
So in a world where Abrahamic faiths dominate, and this is very important why I say this, and something like a woke ideology stems up, which talks about social justice, which talks about co-living, right? It talks about giving space to each other. And there is one religion or one dharma, whatever we call it, that exists, that is an assimilation culture, where what we do is, okay, we find something good in you, okay, we'll take it part. Okay, from where this is coming, right? So the idea is there is either Aryan invasion that happened, or out of India, or Aryan migration. These three are the theories where I'm talking about late Harappan culture, where people from Iran, Iraq came towards, brought in Vedas, etc. Or the theory is Vedas were born in this land, they went out, or there was a migration that happened from Iraq and Iran, and they got assimilated into our culture.
Right.
The thing I'm getting at is, if you see, all of us have a Gram Devata, where we have, like we don't have because we are brought up in Hyderabad, etc. But every village has a Gram Devata, every caste has a Kula Devata.
Yes.
And every ritual, if you cross 50 kilometers, is different. But all of them again assimilate to one single culture. Again, a regular parallel on our podcast is west of India, that is Gujarat, celebrates Dashra pretty well. East of India celebrates Dashra very well. That is Kali. North of India, that is Kashmir. There is a separate sector of Shaivism, which is like very, very spiritual in sense. South of India, Tamil Nadu again has a very special place for Shaivism. So there is an underlying line that is connecting Tamil Nadu to Kashmir and Gujarat to Bengal. That is actually binding us. That is what pluralism, all multiculturalism is, which is what West is trying to get head with it. That is what work is all about, like allowing other people to stay along with you, right?
No, but I think what I like. What is the weight of your ancestors?
No, this is not the line. What
Okay.
I'm saying is, this is my interpretation of the line. I think the problem of today's anxiety of the Abrahamic faiths can be solved. The Abrahamic faiths and the atheists, right? There are a lot of atheists in Christianity colluding with the Christian faith, because Christianity says Jesus is the one true Christ and He is the only answer to your problems. Where the atheist says, I'm living my life not because of Christ but because of scientific inventions, right?
Right.
The marriage can only happen with something like what we have in India, that is Hinduism, right? The multiculturalism is truly something that we need to send it out to the world.
Okay, I
And-
feel like
No. I'm saying this is a message that is hidden very deep inside India, that we take it for granted.
You see it around you, but you
You
won't
see it
notice
around, but because it is very because you see it as normal, but it is not when you look at it from a Western lens.
Right.
And that is the weight of the ancestors that I probably want to propagate to the entire world. I'm not an Abrahamic faith where I say I'm the one true God and you should believe me, otherwise you're a sinner. But to solve your problems, this is the faith that you need to probably adopt.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if I wanna bring a lot of spirituality about this line. In all
No,
honesty,
true.
like my perception was a lot simpler than what you said. Weight of our ancestors, I feel like, lot of human population, less resources. And see, if you look at our parents' generation, whoever has been to the West, I don't know if I can say confidently that they were super proud of India, right? India was known for its poverty before.
Right.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, like whatever. We've known Europe has looked at India in a very different lens.
Which comes from an Abrahamic lens.
Yeah, but
That's the white man's lens,
it's
right?
not always spiritual. It's not that aspect I wanna highlight. What I wanna say is, like, at some point, how our parents have been treated
True.
is what we're still carrying a little, and we're constantly changing it. That's the good thing about it.
Yes.
Like, when you look at it, like, all of the delegates of Europe have come to India. Look at what Europe's stance was before. Like, let's talk about 30 years before, right? It wasn't always the same. And if you go to USA right now, or any one of us go to USA,
Right.
we're still gonna be like, I am an Indian. I love my food. I love everything that I do in India, but I am here for some purpose, probably money. Do you really think people would go to US if one USD is 1 rupee? No, probably not, right? A lot of us wouldn't go. But the embracing of the culture is a lot more in this generation than it was in the previous. At least that is my experience. And
True.
and so that is the weight, I think, like, that my parents' generation, my ancestors have faced.
Again, very good point there. I think because of the poverty, whatever you have faced, because of the so-called simulated famines, etc., I think our parents' generation did not have, or our grandparents' generation did not have the luxury to actually understand the depth of Hinduism, but they just kept on following the rituals because they had to.
Because they were told to just follow their elders.
And they did not have time.
Yeah,
to otherwise.
that was a generation that did not question because
No,
of
right.
because of lack of resources.
Correct.
Exactly.
And since we have those, probably that is why we are thinking in those lines. Okay, why was this
Yeah.
Right.
Why was this ritual in place?
Yeah.
We need to follow that now.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Hanumankind exactly talks about that.
Right. I mean that.
And the video, right? After this, he goes to the martial arts forms, like different martial arts forms, the entire country. I think one is from Kerala. I think that is considered the mother of all martial arts. That is from where Kung Fu, that is from
Yeah.
where the
Kalaripayattu.
Kalaripayattu.
Yeah. So I mean, so those art forms may actually be the weight of our ancestors that
Probably we are losing, right?
we are losing or we are not carrying forward.
I think we are
Probably.
losing.
But he says we're feeling the weight of our
Yeah.
ancestors. Come on, we're not
I
feeling.
think there is a pressure.
We are
Yeah.
losing, yeah. So it can be a pressure or it can be like
I think it's on us to.
it is something that is being imposed
figure
on
it
you. Yeah, it is something that is being imposed on us, as you said about Abrahamic faith versus the Hindu plurality which we see, versus what he was saying about Indians feeling embarrassed about their culture when they go abroad. So when I want to take points from both of you guys and let's say we talk about genes or evolution per se, and when he talks about Aryan invasion theory or any other theories where evolution is involved, whatever our ancestors have done or have been doing is literally passed on to you either through trauma or through your genes, and it is in your DNA. You literally feel the weight of our ancestors, or I feel the weight of our ancestors.
So-
Look at me. Look at me.
So
Look at me. I feel the weight of my ancestors.
I mean,
no. Again, I
I don't think he means that, but
yeah,
I can take it that
I
way.
agree.
yeah. No. I think I honestly think
Great point.
what he means is like.
I mean,
No,
So
really great.
yeah, I know.
It boils down to that. I mean, when he says, it would not miss that as well.
Yeah.
He means everything that your ancestors have given you, the
Yeah.
good, the bad, and the ugly.
Right.
And
It is
again,
everything.
you should consider that in an economic lens too, right?
Of course.
Again, he talked a lot about being an underdog in this song and how he's evolved and what he's looking at in the future.
Yeah.
So if he's feeling the weight of our ancestors, for instance, somebody whose parents are very successful or something like that, I don't think they always go to art or let's not consider acting and all of Bollywood nepotism and all of that. But like in general, right? People are successful. I don't think they're the most whose parents are successful. They're not the most ambitious or so you still see look at it from an underdog lens, right? You feel a lot of you see your parents struggling. You wanna like make them. I personally
Isn't that him saying that there is this huge benchmark or aspiration that my parents want me to achieve, and that's the weight I'm feeling, or my ancestors want me to
Oh
achieve,
my
and
God.
that's what I would want
I would
to.
go that way, bro.
yeah I mean
just say.
that is probably true for a subset of
When he talks
folks,
about
but
ancestors, I'm always thinking someone who expired already.
Of course, okay, but ancestors, okay, great grandfather,
okay.
great grandfather.
I feel like we've
I don't want to go into that zone where
Yeah.
today morning I fought with my mom for something that that is expected of me. But I did not do that.
but
Yeah, it's good.
just moving forward.
Yeah, it's
We healing with ways that don't last for long, don't have us the time, ain't it obvious? No help for the weak, but the liquor strong. Plenty here for it for all of us. And like see, we healing in ways that don't last for long, right? Again, that when you deal with things that you haven't seen before, you heal in different ways. You heal in new ways. I feel like all of us have different ways of healing, and a lot of times my take is everything, like the way we look at life is very temporary. Like at
Right.
some point, if you think, people used to wonder about living 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, right? Their point of view was in the long sense, like be it skincare, be it anything, be it exercise. Now you want to build muscle in a year. You want to lose fat in a year. You want your problems to get solved in a year. So if you look at Indian culture, I feel like this is a real contrast between two generations. And like, if you look at one generation above and our generation right now, all of what our parents suggest are long beneficial in the long term. Like, be it skincare. I want to talk about skincare real quick, right? Because if you put something on the skin that your mom suggests, your skin might not glow right away, but it will when you're in 40s. You would maintain it. Lot of, I don't know, I feel like we are moving towards that way.
Something social media gives you.
Yeah, exactly. Like everything that is very short, even look at us, we moved from long content to short form content, all of that, right? Where we're looking for very fast ways to heal. You want to get rich, you want to do it in a month. You don't want to look at the long term where you play the game of investing, look at what your percentage of increase is. No, you want to become a millionaire in a year or two, right? And I feel like that's a real generational problem. I don't have.
But is it a problem?
There are people who did that. That is objective, it is factual, but he talks about healing, right? He really talks about healing here. So
Yeah.
and see, that is why when you're exposed to an infinite number of things, Andy, do you think you'll ever be content? Like, are you let's take 5 years before. Did you achieve everything that you wanted 5 years ago? I would bet otherwise. Like, I would say yes, you probably did. You are earning well. You are in a good job. Once you get the job, you have again 100 exposures there. No, I don't want this job because something's not right. I want something else. I wanna compare myself with somebody, right? You always want to heal in different ways that would give you a temporary satisfaction at that point in time. But you're never gonna look at something that is long term and see, okay, I can be content. This is what I have achieved till date.
So which is something that truly puzzles me, right? So we see people, right? So we see people in villages, born, brought up, lived, died in villages. Not talking about the current.
I know.
But a lot of
Yeah.
And they were actually very happy than what we are with. Because
Yeah.
And that is very surprising, right? With whatever you said. Was I content then? No. Am I content now? No. What am I looking for? I don't know. Right? So there's a lot of anxiety.
Again, don't have us the type. I need to talk.
So we don't know. Is it because of more exposure or is it because of I don't know. Is it because of more? I don't know.
Yep.
So there are no answers. Are we playing the long game? Don't know.
Yeah. And again, like, no help for the weak, but the liquor strong. I feel like this is such an Indian sentence to say. Like, any wine shop that you go, right? Look at that. You just look at it. How many cheap brands, like very strong liquors, do Indian drink? Lot. Like OC, 8PM, all of these brands.
And this very great story. So we were in UT. We were in a store where we wanted to buy a liquor.
UT? UT. Okay.
So in Tamil Nadu, they only, like in UT especially, they only sell it in government shops. Like there are special allocated shops. So I see a guy who comes in, like he's around 40-50, who comes in, who takes a quarter, does something like this, opens it, drinks the entire 90 ml, opens a water packet, drinks the water packet and goes away. And I'm like, what the fuck? It's not a joke to drink, and like 90 ml of that, like 120 rupees whiskey or whatever it is. Drinking that is not a joke.
Yeah.
But he drank it like water, bro. Like I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah, I mean.
But
Have you ever seen rich drink cheap liquor? So.
and there is this very thing, like, so apparently champagne. The procedure to make a champagne is as good as you make a beer, but it is inflated because of the status that it has.
Accumulated status in the society.
Apparently, champagne has been given a status of celebration. That's why it is costly, not because of the cost price of milk.
Okay, not because of manufacturing and operational work.
Because of the status
Yeah,
that
like the brand that it has got as liquor.
Right?
Okay.
But
So I feel like we're pivoting.
Yeah, that's getting a lot.
I
Yeah.
feel like
I think-
Hanumankind would get high looking at us.
I think you can. I
Right.
think
I don't
you can relate these two lines, right? We healing with ways that don't last for long. Link that to the liquor. They are healing with that short doses of healing that they get, which obviously won't last for long. They keep doing it every
I think
day.
so. I think healing is put in the context of I feel the weight of my
Of course.
So he is in the zone 3. Okay, I know what my ancestors is. They are super crazy.
Yes.
I'll get back to that.
Right,
And show what
right,
my shit is.
right,
And
right.
He talks about it in the verse.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Boy, for all of us. I bring out the drums in this bitch, and my homies got me doing shit that they said wouldn't work. Bring out the guns in this bitch, and load up a clip, I'm gon' shoot up that place with a rock. I see the bums that we wishing we had in the ditch, and the pain that see them at hurt. I see the love that we give and the love that we give, and sure everything come up on circle. We went from nothing to something, got all of us dropping the shit that we made from the air. We went from running and gunning with nothing to stop it, the beat in the neighborhood block. There ain't a person alive that be matching the vibe, and honestly ain't even bad. There ain't the doing the driving, the vision like I have a last time I look in the mirror, babe. So run it up.
It's just go 10, 15 seconds behind. Like, yeah, the point where so here it is. So this, I mean, like, this is technical stuff, but the point where he cuts from 46 from the guy with his words to this, I think this is what, I don't know what this art form is. Of course, shame on
That
me.
is from Manipur, it seems.
Okay. No. Not this. It's not Punjab. That is
This is from Manipur.
right. So this cut.
But it's exact moment of the last frame.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So it's a match cut. Obviously, it's a match cut. But I mean, in the previous shot, the man is doing his art with his hands and the sports that he's wearing. He's wielding, and the frame is stable. The frame is static. Here, the frame actually moves with the person, with this person who is
Wait,
performing.
what?
You
Me.
yeah, you watch it.
Wishing we had in the ditch, and the pain that see them at hurt. I see the love that we give and the love that we give, and sure everything
Static
come up
frame.
on circle. We're from nothing to something, got all of us
Here,
dropping the
you
shit
watch
that we
you watch the
made
camera.
from
You watch the
the
camera.
air.
The camera is moving.
With nothing to stop it, the beat in
The camera moves with the person and then zooms out. It's a single shot. So I mean I'm just trying to say I was impressed with this particular match
Okay.
cut where this was done like, when he was talking about smooth cuts, right? There is one more cut that comes later, which is insane. So I just wanted to appreciate that. Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of things he said in the post chorus.
Verse 1, right? Yeah.
Oh baby, we run it up. Which one is that?
Verse 1. Now bring out the drums in this bitch.
Oh, verse 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Now bring out the drums in this bitch. And there are drums that are playing, right?
The entire beat is art drum.
And like, so I was just listening to this song on my like Sony headset. If you remove his rapping, it is a verse where you can actually dance, like a proper
Yeah.
teen mar thing. Like if
Yes.
it's like like
So these are actually traditional Malayalam.
yeah, I know. I've seen somebody.
Kerala drums, I think. Kerala.
Yeah, it's called some chenda or
Yeah, Chenda.
yeah, I know.
Right.
So now bring out the drums in this bitch. All my homies got rich doing shit that they said wouldn't work, right? And like that is so true for any artist. Like
Right.
when you're trying out something on your own, or
But
both
also
of
for
you
India,
as
right, where so-called
Yeah.
Jugaad is famous.
yeah, I know India is not for beginners.
Yeah.
I know. Bring out the guns in this bitch here to load up a clip and go shoot up the place. We don't care. I see the bums that be wishing we end in a ditch. Yeah, they praying to see a man hurt, bro. That's like very dark. I see the love we give and the love that we get. Make sure everything's coming full circle, right?
This is about the ancestors' weight.
Full coming in full circle.
Right. It makes sense.
I mean, that is a wild comparison, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but I feel like this is a lot about him, and I am seeing this as like what. See, look at Hanumankind as a person, right? This isn't a traditional or conventional way to get rich that he got, and that's what he's telling. Very in all big sense. And the irony there is he talked about big dogs first in his previous song, where he's roaming with the big dogs, but now he's actually telling his journey where to get there, and like this wasn't a traditional way. I was told that this is an unconventional way via which I got rich, right? And he's also talking about like uh, there are people that he see that I see the bums that be wishing we end in a ditch,
Right.
because he probably
Very true
faced
also,
that.
right.
Yeah, that is true across. I feel like this isn't at a geography level, right? We
Everywhere,
believe in
everywhere,
like
everywhere.
Desti, we believe in whatever you want, we believe in Kala Jadoo, we believe in like everybody has their version of it, and that is like a
ఏదో ఒకటి చేసే ఉంటాడు అందుకే అలా
yeah, I know. But the next couple of
Exactly. So we went from running and gunning with nothing in stomach to feeding the neighborhood.
I know the next couple of paras get very deep and interesting. Like it is exactly what he did, right? Any content creator, this isn't specific to him. Like you create content, there's some beauty of it where you like it.
Right.
Like
Right.
unlike the very monotonous job that you do, you are creating something that is very original to you, like something that you actually like. So we went from running and gunning with nothing in stomach to feeding the neighborhood, bro. And I don't know if he has given back or something, or I don't know what that meant, but it makes obvious sense, right? There ain't a person. Okay, yeah, like, and
Yeah. There ain't a person alive that be matching the vibe, and it honestly ain't even afraid. There ain't a dude with the drive and the vision like I have, unless I go look in the mirror.
bro, such a brag, bro.
Bragging.
So, flex and what we call
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But again, so when you compare it with something like Ancestral, it makes sense.
No, there are two lines that you actually missed. So we went from nothing to something, got all of them jumping to shit that we made from the air.
Yeah, that is the
Who made
content.
things from the air?
That is the content creation I'm talking about, right? Any,
No, I mean, so I like to correct you here. I don't think he's a content creator. He's an artist. We
Yeah.
are content creators.
Oh, sorry, not I'm
So
content
I
as
mean,
in
I know you don't mean in a demeaning
Yeah.
way, but content today
So art
is
created
not
from
Okay.
is not art.
yeah, art. Yeah,
So
probably
he's-
whatever
he's-
you want to
yeah,
call
he's
it.
art.
Yeah.
So right, every art is created from thin air, right? What did our ancestors do? How did those art come from? Where did they come from?
Is it no.
Whatever martial arts you're seeing, where did they come
Or
from?
yeah, so
Aren't they a figment of imagination?
Talks about martial arts.
The figment of imagination, right?
But is it the weight that you're feeling?
No, no, I'm
I feel
saying-
like when you say weight, it's like in a negative sense.
No. It
But it's also in a positive sense that I need
Positive
to
as well.
what I have lost. in
Positive
my
as well.
Because of the last 100 years of
it need not be binary, right? It can be both. It can be
Yeah, maybe
a version of both.
that's what open-ended is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like such a nice thing to do, right? And it's very obvious, like
And then, so after this, right, like if you play the video, there's a beautiful shot that comes with the chorus.
okay. Before the chorus also, like he talked about some of his problems first, like like our generation, we healing in different ways and all of that. Now he's telling that you bring out the drums. Now I am rich. I am
Yes.
feeding the neighborhood. I am doing, like I'm doing all of these things. I felt like that was such a nice thing to say, and I feel like somewhere he felt that and he's doing that.
Yeah, probably because he also probably visited Ganesh Visarjan where he probably tried to see Ganesh.
Okay, let's.
Oh,
sorry. Let's look at the chorus.
I be matching the vibe and honestly ain't even bad. Daring to do it and drive and a vision like I have unless I go look in the mirror, man. So run it up.
The sun is up.
To run it down. Get your money up. I put money down
On all of us.
All my people now. On what I love. Ooh, baby.
That is a crazy shot. Whatever we saw, right?
He means the previous shot where
Previous shot.
the white shot
So
with all the people.
He takes a look at the entire people he has with. He has an old tree in the background. Old tree, ancestors, old traditions, whatever. So there are two things, this right. So at the end, we feel we feel very good about the so-called values of our society, or the values of this village, or whatever it is. Like the unit, the perseverance that we bring in together as a family. That is what he shows. He shows the entire village as a one single unit, and he is really proud about it. He shows the entire village along with the street dog.
I know, an indie dog.
Indie dog.
I know.
And behind a old tree, which is probably hundreds of years old. Like, that is, like, he has a very good idea of where he's coming from, and that is the weight that he's feeling from his ancestors.
And like, I feel like, again, when three of us are talking, we have such different takes.
Right.
When you look at a foreigner commenting on this, I feel like it's the same, right? When you comment on a black guy rap, right, that they felt there, it isn't obviously gonna match their thoughts. You haven't been in their place, and it was so funny to watch some people from West try to decode this, because some things were obvious bullshit. Like, no, bro, this is not what he meant. I know for a fact because I lived in the fucking country. I know what it means, and that isn't what you mean for sure. Like, it was very cool to me. Like, I get what this is, you don't.
It is so funny that we people living in the same country are not agreeing on the same thing that he's probably saying, and you coming from some other country who don't even live here are saying this is the way he probably meant.
I know. And like, oh baby, we run it up. Look at this guy. It's such a beautiful shot. He has a sword on his head also. Like, his riding horses, he had a sword on. Yeah, I know.
We should actually know the names of what this art is about.
I saw somewhere that it was mentioned that there's Kalaripattu and
Kalaripayattu is from
Kalaripayattu, sorry.
I think
Yeah.
there's one from Maharashtra.
Mardani Khel.
There's one from Manipur. There's one from Punjab.
Manipur was a
Nihon 6, whatever.
Tanta or something, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some guy listed very beautifully there.
All of these
It's in the credits also at the very
are
end.
martial arts forms of
Okay.
Indian martial arts.
Yeah, again, like, I feel like there's a.
which is Travis, right? We don't even know the names.
Yeah, we know Taekwondo, we know Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which are probably offshoots of what?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people say they were offshoots of whatever was professed when taken from India
from here to there.
to what's that Tibet and other Chinese countries. They were taken through bodhisattvas. So we know the very famous film
Yeah.
Seventh
I think
Sense.
the
But
Punjab
that's
one
one example. But
where the static camera you were
Right.
talking about, I think that was called Gatka or so.
Gatka, right.
Yeah. Let's look at.
Right, let's go.
Run it up. Get it the minute the sun is up. There's no rest to shut it down. Working for it, get your money up. Believe it on God, put money down. I'm betting the odds on all of us. I do it for all of my people now. Put that on everything that I love. Check.
That woman was
On
hitting.
everything that I love.
That woman was hitting to the one with the stick, right? The woman is hitting.
Yeah.
Is it their followers that she was hitting or?
No. I think that's the art. These guys are defending. So
Okay.
she learns, I think, to attack. Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we can go ahead.
Yeah. Let's.
It was so cool when I heard it the first time where the beat was going down and he's actually shifting.
Yeah, the next para is like very slow, like. You know, it changes that beat. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
We go from slow. Yeah.
That means he wants to change things. He wants to change things. He wants to be the change.
And that you see.
He
the
means
video,
it.
Audio.
Everything changes.
Everything.
Edit pattern also changes.
And
Okay.
And then he bumps it up. It's crazy how he does it.
So.
Go on to the video.
Yeah, let's look at.
And you see the crowd chanting, right?
What did he say? What did he say?
All of them are like all of them.
I
are
know,
like
that's
this
very cheering. Like, it's like,
cheering up for him.
Yeah, and then he.
is there like a shankam sound?
Yeah, there is.
There is. I think I've
When he says 3, 2, 1, the Shankam drops and he starts off. Shankam. Shankam is basically,
War cry.
War cry.
Cry. Yeah,
War
he's.
cry. And you see the war.
Yeah.
and also he's surrounded by
Yeah.
people,
So
right?
like, so that was chorus and then post chorus, right? Oh baby, we run it up, get
Yeah.
it the minute the sun is up.
Yeah,
They
that's-
talked
I think
about
can
this.
play.
Yeah, there is no resting when the sun is down. Work it for real, get your money up. Okay, this is where believe it on God, put the money down. I'm betting the odds on all of us. I do it for all my people now. Put that on everything that I love. Again, very, very nice. Yeah, like look at how he's saying things, right? He's one thing that I can say is this is very authentic, right? You can't write it unless you felt it
You feel it,
somewhere
yeah.
in
You
life.
feel it.
Yeah, like
Feel it. And then.
yeah,
he bifurcates. You don't understand our problem.
Yeah.
You and us,
Yeah.
my people. 3, 2, 1.
Now we go from angry and mad to happy and glad to find a solution.
What's this shot?
We go from sorry and sad to ready to grab our weapons and get to the punch. I want the money, the cash, the moolah,
This
the
one-
bag, the currency stacking it up.
This one.
Want the freedom to live and the freedom to have the things we've been lacking, my bruh. So what are we lacking? I could point it down, so much that's around. Better settle down, no point doing that. Or they send the hounds, bite me in the ass, put me in the ground, turn me into ash, got to carry down. From those who came up before me, I'm here to change up the story. Find me a work in the morning, find me with people I'm on it, man. Cause death is around every corner. When life is a fee for a person, dog, you act like an animal corner. Stop it, just speaking a language.
Wow. Bro.
such a.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'll just finish my technical masturbation here. Where, so he was. I mean, I actually haven't seen Big Dog's video. I heard the song only. So here there is a shot where. So he goes 3, 2, 1, and he's just being angry, and so that's a single shot. I mean, it's a simulated single shot. So there is this one thing where it moves from his right shoulder to the other shoulder, and I think there are multiple shots which they stitch together, probably using VFX or something else, and it feels like the camera and the object is still, and even though it is moving, it feels like there's this flow. I mean, I'm not able to describe it properly, but it feels like really cool. It really feels very cool.
All of them see the work right. All
Yeah,
of them get together.
yeah.
And all of them want to make it big.
And he says I'm going to
All
be the
of
change.
them
I'm
want
going to do it.
to run it up with him.
Yeah.
True. He wants to be the change. He wants to make the change.
See, he talks a little about getting successful also in life. Like, if you just look at the second verse, now we go from angry and mad to happy and glad to finding a solution for us.
Yes.
Just look at it, leave Hanumankind, look at that thought process, right? He's trying to take his tribe with him.
Yes.
He's trying to find that solution. I have become rich. I have become famous. I have fame now.
Which is
Now,
what
how do I like make my peers or somebody who's around me, my tribe, get along with me?
This is what I was saying. That we need to be in such a position where we export this idea of multiculturalism to the entire world. But to do that, we need to get rich.
Yeah, I mean, power matters.
Economic power.
Yeah. We
matters.
go from sorry and sad to ready to grab our weapons and get to the front, right? All of this is such capitalistic mindset. Like,
Yes.
I want the money, the cash, the moolah, the bag, the currency, stacking it up. Yeah, the moolah. I think moolah is
Moolah
a
is
slang
money.
for money.
Moolah
right?
is the money, yeah.
Yeah. We want the freedom to live and the freedom to have the things we've been lacking, my
Right.
bro. And that is the weight that we've felt. Right? That is the weight that all of us have felt from our previous generation. So what are we lacking? Oh damn! I could point it out.
So much more.
So much that's around. Better settle down. See, this is
The weight of colonialism also.
Yeah.
That is also felt.
The
Also
colonial
what we
mindset.
feel today from our parents, etc. Etc. But also that.
yeah, and like again, I feel like he's literally telling better settle down, right?
Yeah.
He's telling that
Better
whenever,
settle down.
yeah, like there's no contentness in this, in all of us,
True,
right? We look at so many things, so many materialistic things, so many experiences. Now we've gone from being financially independent to no, I wanna experience life. Again, there is all of this are very subjective arguments to have. There's no objective right or
Experience
wrong.
is also materialism in a way.
But those matter, right? What again, if that
Individual
brings,
again.
yeah, exactly, but if that brings some sort of contentness to you, it matters to you.
Correct.
And so like again, I the thing that I like about this is there's no right or wrong that is
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about it.
true.
If you
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at each of these lines, very open-ended ones, you can, I don't know, I love it, man. No point doing that or they send the hounds. Oh, then he's talking about settling down. So he said I could point it out so much that's around, better settle down. No point doing that or they send the hounds, right? Hounds are basically the bad people. Bite me in the ass, put me in the ground, turn me into ash, culture carried down. I feel like he repeats this, like turn me into ash, culture carried down. I don't know which song was it, Genghis or Big Dogs, but he talks about the culture getting carried down in his ashes. Like
Right.
he said,
And
put me in a
ashes-
river somewhere. I think it was Big Dogs. He said, put my ashes in a river. That's how the
Big
culture flows or something like that through
And this is a
generations.
Very Indian idea again,
Yeah,
Yeah,
very,
yeah,
very
yeah,
Indian.
very
Yeah.
right?
What would a Westerner understand? Like, there's no way he's gonna understand this, right?
There is no way you understand burning a body because that is something that is alien to you.
Yeah.
That is how Britishers felt when they first saw, oh, do you actually burn bodies?
Yes, yes, yes.
You should actually treat bodies with respect. But that is how we treat bodies.
And there's a lot of like scientific explanation also, and
Scientific
yeah,
or metaphysical or
yeah,
argument.
Yeah.
yeah, and like from those who came up before me, I'm here to change the story. Find me at work in the morning. Find me where people are mourning, man, because death is around the corner.
This is around every
So
corner.
many swim lanes to talk about this, right? Death is around every,
Every
corner.
corner.
You can talk COVID, you can talk global warming, you can talk about all the shitty things that are going
Or
around.
you can just talk about poverty.
Poverty.
and-
Yeah,
basic
poverty.
third world
Yeah,
poverty.
yeah. Like look at how many parallels we've drawn in a second.
No, not
That
much
is
access
crazy.
to basic infra,
Yeah,
and there's death everywhere.
yeah. And like when
So
like
there is this famous dialogue in Vedam. మన గల్లీలో పోతే గంటలు ఇస్తారు అదే అక్కడ పోతే 2 రోజులు ఫ్రిడ్జ్ లో పెట్టుకొని ఉంచుతారు.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
Which basically translates to if you're born in a poor family, when after you died, you're taken to the graveyard in an hour. But if you're born in a rich family, you stay at home as a dead body for
Wow.
2 days.
For a day, too.
yeah.
Until your
yeah.
relatives come visit you.
Oh god. And the next couple of sentences get very interesting. When life isn't free for a person, dog, you act like an animal cornet. Like, and that is so true, bro. This is true at multiple levels, right? He's talking about life
It
isn't
is true at every individual level.
exact, and you leave at individual level. For a person who's super rich, even if he or she isn't free to be himself at work, he or she behaves differently, right?
Yes.
Anywhere, like he's talking about when life isn't free for a person, dog, you act like an animal cornered. You feel cornered, like, but look at, he's connecting what he said earlier, right? You feel the weight. This, oh my god, there's such a nice thing to say.
And if you see this from a Westerner's lens, is basically saying you don't understand what I'm saying. Just don't pretend.
No, that is the next sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Savages speak in the languages y'all don't understand. You a foreigner, bitch.
Yes.
Right?
Isn't this him directly talking to the Britishers? And what?
No.
What?
to all of
What?
them. To
No,
all of
I mean
them.
not
To try
only to
to-
the Britishers,
to-
but every other person.
It is speaking to Indians who think
They know the
They're not Indians.
First world problems.
Yeah, elite Indians.
yeah,
elite
like-
Indians.
You can't predict what he's saying, but like just look at how many comparisons we can draw.
Yeah.
How much depth he has on what he's writing. Right? You can talk about.
and the video also speaks about that, right? So that is why the video is very, very good because he takes it to the culture. He takes it to the martial arts culture and shows you, oh, these were your forms.
But how?
he takes it to the people. So he understands. Okay, I'm on this land. This is what my ancestor did. This is where I am. This is what the anxiety I'm facing. That is because of all of this. I think he understands all of this journey. And that
Maybe
is-
I feel like he's been through it. Like
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
because-
Yeah, probably,
Agreed.
right.
I think that is
Yeah.
a better way to put it because he has been brought up in the West.
yeah,
And on a global scale, if you take India as a nation state and whatever actions that it has been doing and is going to do and is doing currently, it is an animal that is cornered, even geographically, with enemies all around, and it has to look out for itself. Even with Hinduism as the point, it's the
Yeah.
only culture that is present in this country as the
Yeah.
yeah.
most
Fair
dominant
enough.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
With every other nation is either Islam or probably Christianity
Or
or something else,
Yeah.
but is not actually Hinduism, and it has to save itself, work for itself, and whatever it's going to do, it's going to be alien for the foreigner.
Yeah, they don't.
And-
yeah,
They don't understand because we don't speak their language. We are savages for them.
I mean, yeah, I feel like, yeah, that is true, right? Whatever
Yeah.
you don't experience, there's no way you're gonna know about it.
Right, right.
And yeah, you just, I feel like you are crossing the line when you comment on it and say this is the right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's okay
is
to
what-
be on a neutral stance and say you don't understand, which is very fine. I don't understand half of the things that you tell in your raps because I've never been there. I don't know what
I
that
don't
you're.
understand what hood is.
Yeah, hood culture. Yeah,
Yeah, but
fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah,
We don't pretend we know.
yeah.
That's the difference, right? Things are the same tomorrow, man. Like, damn.
Very high note, bro. Like the
The
last.
beat is
I feel like there's 1 hour all three of us can talk about the video. Like we've focused a lot on lyrics.
Lyrics.
Yes,
and,
yes.
and I feel like 1 hour Prithvi alone can talk about it.
Yeah,
Both
yeah,
of
yeah.
us probably not very eligible to talk about that. But we should definitely do somewhere where we look at just the video and see what all aspects of the video that
Right,
look
right.
at how culturally rich the video is.
Yes,
Right? And
yes.
it's not typical hip hop where you go diss another person, nothing like that. He's talking about some very authentic problems, very, very relatable things on very minute details that all of us have been through at some point in life, right? That is amazing.
Right.
Uh,
The way he so usually whatever tracks you've talked about, right, diss tracks or whatever singles or albums of any Indian rapper you take, so they are usually centered around the protagonist who usually is the rapper, and he's talking either about
Yeah.
his girlfriend or
Yeah.
he's dissing on someone else or he's talking with the collaborator. The collaborator comes in, gives a cameo and then leaves. So mostly the camera and the production is concentrated on the rapper. But here he makes sure the way Hanumankind is staged in the scenes. I mean, we start with him being chased, right? He's getting chased out, but then there is a shift. There is a shift in the song. There is a shift in the beat, shift in the video, and his lyrics where he says, "No, I will change it. You follow me. We are going to change this. We as an audience, we as a generation." And if you notice, everyone else in the hood around him or get
Right.
are of the same age,
right.
are of the same generation.
Right.
So all of them are feeling the weight of their ancestors and they want to change it.
Right.
And then you go back to all the other shots and the shot that Sandy was praising a lot. The way he staged, he's one of the people. He's one from that village.
It's not special.
He's not special. Maybe he has probably
He's special, but he's
good clothing. Maybe there he's standing out. But that aside, they also gel in with the background. And here also, the colorified to artist takes over. All these art are the center, are the main stage. That is what he wants to show.
Yeah.
After Big Dogs, which has hit millions of numbers,
Right. Right.
this is what he's doing.
So which is why I wanted to start it with Big Dog's ending when he talks about Run It Up, and then it gets to this where at the end he's probably talking about art more than him as an individual, as an artist, which is probably the core philosophy of what Indian art represents.
Exactly.
That I am an artist, but
Art
the
is greater.
that is coming through me is via God or something spiritual, rather than. So I am an enabler, but not art myself. Art is something that is passing through me from top to down.
Yeah.
The
but
artist
I am not important.
He's
And
o-
that is where after
Yeah.
everyone gets together, you don't see Hanumankind as a prominent figure, but you see Hanumankind as someone
delved into it.
enjoying the art.
Of the audience.
Like artist is mostly a conduit of something that is flowing from higher above. If you believe in God, it's God. If you're not, it's something else.
But
But it's a conduit.
Part of the system and part of.
But if you look
Something greater.
from a Western lens, right, it is very different. I don't think if it's different or not, because if you see something like a Whiplash, if you see that movie, that actually speaks about the internal, that the master trying to push the student to certain level where you don't even know that you can go there. Again, that is very inwired with a person itself, right?
No, so I mean, people would relate more to Whiplash, but people who may not have seen Swati Kiranam, so K. Vishwanath's classic, so it also says the same story where the teacher is trying to push the student way harder, but the teacher is very egotistical and he does not want the student to reach that level.
Right.
He's pushing the student just because if he pushes too hard, the student would leave. That's his ill intention, which is not spoken out, explicitly told, but his actions are pointing towards that. But eventually, something ill happens to the student in Whiplash and to the student in Swati Kiranam. The story is parallel. You can no, there's a parallel in the story, but the point is that probably a Western lens would look at art as emanating from the person itself, and the person
As the main figure.
takes a higher pedestal.
Okay.
Is the main figure.
Yeah. Now we're.
It's not the art.
Yeah.
Here, the art itself, you owe it to the art. Who is giving it to you? It is internal to you. You either say it or don't.
Yeah.
Which is again
Very
crazy,
good,
right?
bro,
If
like-
you think about something like a Sufi tradition that has probably germinated some of its seeds from India. So Sufi, if you listen to the songs that come from that culture, everything is ode to Allah, right? And amazing songs. Like you listen to something Tajdar
Tajdar.
Yeah,
What
oh
a
my
song.
God,
What a
what a
song.
song.
Atif Aslam. Everything.
Wow.
So the song actually talks about owing everything to Allah.
Yeah.
Getting Allah from, like, getting the music, etc., from everything. I still feel that probably germinated something somewhere from India, and or if you listen to something A.R. Rahman says that I am just an enabler. A.R. Rahman actually says I don't know where my music comes from; it just flows through me. I just program it, etc., etc. Which is something a lot of artists feel, not just who are born in India. We are talking about examples that are born in India, but or near India, Atif Aslam. But that is something a lot of artists feel that okay, and I think a lot of us also feel okay. Let's say we are talking about something, we get some thought that maybe okay. A lot of us feel okay. From where did I get this thought? Because I to feel this. From where did I get this thought? Like, why am I thinking like this? Like the consciousness that you feel inside you. Why do I think like this? That is probably something. Again,
Very hard to be objective on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of factors coming. Okay, is this from my brought up? Is this from my genes? Is this from my something actually divine? Because I actually don't know if I believe in God till date. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But just to repeat the lyric.
Yeah.
Don't nobody need an advantage now. We needing some balance and order. But you know that's never the case. Such capitalistic. That's how the world works, right? Never a chance that they changing their ways. No, it's never a choice they giving to you. There will never be justice to face. We sing for the sorrow and dance for the pain. No one to follow. It's just you and me. I swear it's coming. We starting today, but we wake up tomorrow and things are the same. I feel like such. Look at that, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do justice just talking about this. Like,
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't think it ends on a disappointing note that he's saying that.
Yeah.
it is. Like,
It's going to be
But
the
it's also
same
the
too,
reality
but-
that it is. So okay, I
No,
want
but
to make this point which I was talking about earlier, that probably this is the only time when we as a country can look up and say, hey, we arrived because of our demographic dividends, because we are probably the youngest country with a lot of young blood, wanting to work, make it big, like what he speaks in Big Dogs, wanting to make it big, like economically, like, so once you are satisfied economically, everything percolates. Like you go into domains that are interesting.
yeah, you have the choice. You have the
Luxury.
freedom of luxury
So
of.
that is why I think India is so philosophically rich or spiritually rich, because it was a land of minerals, etc., right? Minerals,
Yeah, once upon a-
spices,
yeah.
once upon a time,
Yeah.
where you had everything, and that is where you went and explored spirituality. So this is the time governments, the so-called boomer generation, etc., don't fuck it up. Leave it to us. We will make the country great. I am pretty sure we might do a lot of mistakes along the way. We might fuck an entire generation, but we want to make the country great again. Don't get in the way saying, hey, this is not our culture. Hey, this is not our value system. Because most of the statements that are in the form of, hey, this is not our culture or this is not in the value system, are not actually from the culture, but from an anxiety that, hey, the younger kid is doing something cooler than what I am doing. Please don't face that anxiety. Let us do whatever we want to do. Let us make the country great. At the end, we want to see India great rather than you becoming the great. We want to work towards the collective goal of making this country great rather than individuals becoming great. Boomers and post-millennial, like the generation born in late 70s or early 70s, 80s generation, let your kids do whatever they want to do. They have the angst of becoming great. Just enable them. They'll take country to places. You probably will be a grandfather by then. You will see the country great. Just wait. Have some patience. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah, I mean,
Just let the youth run it up.
Hanumankind is right. No one to follow. It's just you and me.
Even before that, right? He talks about we need some balance and order.
Right.
We are constantly seeking that. It's not like we're not. Like, I feel like first thing that comes to my mind is crypto. We've talked a lot about centralized entities. That's how capitalism works, right?
Right.
And I don't know if you guys I don't think it's a whole lot relatable, but I feel like I need to talk about GDP a little. Like,
Okay.
The reason I say that is, at some point, GDP needed to represent the economic well-being of an individual in a country. Like,
Right.
but is it doing that? No, hell no.
So there should be some other metric that does that, right?
See, that is a flawed metric. That's what I'm talking about. Like, when you look at it, GDP has increased. Yeah, hell yeah, it has increased. I agree. But what percentage of a country has contributed it? In India, it's probably 1%. And you've talked about it a little before. Like,
Right. So GDP, there's a lot of nuance actually that I've been listening to recently. So GDP also increases when government
Spending
spends on
increases.
expenditure.
yes.
So and government has been extensively spending on expenditure rather than individuals actually consuming more.
Right.
Yeah, that is exactly where I'm going. Right? It isn't a direct representation of
Correct.
an individual's
Individual,
well-being.
right.
Correct. So
And-
it's probably per capita income that actually depends, and we are still.
And we have normalized that. So much has been normalized at this point in time. It's hard to go back. And so today I was having a very interesting conversation with my mom about morals and principles. I feel like she is such a good-hearted person to put her principles and morals and everything else before everything that she does. She's not persuading money, she's not after everything. The only thing that matters to her is principles. She asked me a simple question today, like, why do people when they get rich and successful, they tend to get very ignorant of others people's feelings, or in simpler terms, why do they become assholes when they become rich? Why can't they follow or put their principles first? And I feel like so we've had a very like an hour of discussion today. She is very objective in her thought because she decides everything as this is right, this is wrong. But that's not how the world runs. That's what Hanumankind talking about here. It's not going to change. Yeah, we've normalized it. Decades of normalizing, generalization of normalizing stuff. Everything, be it drinking, be it socializing, be it networking.
Beat status.
Yeah, exactly. We've normalized so much of stuff at this point. It's really hard to point out and something and say objectively that this is right, this is wrong. Again, morally, there are some things we can still say these are right and wrong. But I don't know. This is I feel like there's a lot of variety of thought that he put in.
True.
Crazy.
And again, never a chance that they're changing their ways, right?
Yeah.
It has been streamlined so much. Who is that one entity that's gonna come up and say, I'm gonna change this shit? Unless you have that power. And you
It's
can...
getting comfortable, right? They got
Exactly.
comfortable with their ways.
Again, yeah. It's like, in software engineering terms, it's like a bug that was considered a feature, right? Like, I don't know if you have seen that memes where it was originally a bug, but people started using it as a feature.
Again, great point, right? So, most of what we think as a feature today, like freedom of speech or, let's say, like not having enough money in hands, is probably a bug caused by 1,000 years of colonization, right? And we actually consider it very cool, or caste, or
Investing in stocks is considered a
Investing in
bug.
right?
Nobody
Or-
used to understand the
but nobody.
the charts on the screen.
Again, bro, we healing in ways that are
Yes.
long enough. Right?
but there are still ways today where our parents strongly feel that hey, this is the way to go, like investing in gold or like believing in rigid structures like caste. And is it going to harm the country? Probably yes. Is it going to divide the country? Probably yes. But are they going to let go of it? Probably no.
Yeah, because you can't change it.
So, who is going to change it, right? There is no one to change it.
Yeah, and he told about drinking liquor for the weaker earlier. He's telling we sing for the sorrow and dance for
Yes.
the pain. Right? Look at how he's relating.
And this is again a very Indian thought.
Yeah, very Indian. Yeah, very
Like,
Indian.
You only see drums playing for an Indian
no.
Indian death
Yeah.
procession.
Yeah, that is like a direct simile. Like dance for the pain is like a direct comparison, right?
Why do you dance for pain, bro?
Yeah. Again, it's a lot of. So I feel like because of our economic backwardness and all, there's a lot of things we fucked up also. It's not like we did everything right. And at this point, if you ask a Western person or somebody who's been with adequate amount of resources, he doesn't dance for the pain, right? We've been told to put on a face. We've been told to put on a front. That we are strong enough.
Everything should be a makeover.
Yeah, exactly. Because, and that is a little capitalistic to do also. I'm not telling that it is that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like people who grew up with adequate resources, they don't relate with this song at all. They've never been the underdogs. They don't know that vibe. We've been through it, right? At some point, even though you did not want to do what you wanted to do, I'm sure your parents or somebody who's around you has asked you to put up that front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. It's not very authentic, but it is how the world runs. But yeah, very high note, bro. And even the music, it starts getting very faster and like.
Yeah.
It starts getting to your head, like, so it's basically how I feel it is. This is your time, go get it.
Yeah.
And this is the
Yeah.
this is the beat I'm providing.
No one
you.
to follow, just you and
Yeah,
me.
You and me. It's the beat and you. It's your heart and you. Go get it. This
Yeah.
is your time.
Like, I swear that it's coming. We starting today. is such a nice line to end. I feel very bad that he ended that, but we wake up tomorrow and things are the same.
I mean, like
Yeah.
he see the fuck all establishments that are already in place who are trying to control you. Like,
I don't know. I feel like if we had not put that line down,
I mean,
I don't know. I felt like I would have been way more inspired. Like, I am gonna fucking do this. Let me do this for my generation. Let me do this for my people.
put it on the map.
And he's probably way more matured than three of us because he's seen the reality. You know how the world works. We're just three youngsters who's trying to make our way.
But-
right?
see, I agree that the line, the previous line, I mean, the last but one line is probably very, very inspirational, and probably he should have ended that way. But he's giving us a reality check, right? With the last line, he's giving us a reality check, or he's seeing what is happening around him. He's
Yeah.
seeing what is happening around him.
At least he's being authentic.
Things aren't
Again,
moving. Things aren't going
Boomers
ahead.
post, like, I don't know what they
Who is keeping?
Generation
Who
X,
is?
don't fuck it.
Yeah. Who is doing that? Who is the reason for that? He doesn't get into that. But he says, but we wake up tomorrow and things are the same.
And-
Damn, bro.
And like,
Damn.
see,
He says,
yeah, the other contrast is if you go back to like a couple of verses or something, I think he says that we heal in ways that are very temporary.
yeah, exactly.
And like we
exactly.
drink strong liquor. That is a daily ritual that we have. So next day it's the same thing. We face the same problem. We're not curing it for the long term. We're seeing new problems. We're not looking at long term cures
No
at
long-term
this point.
solutions.
And this is applicable across industries, even in medical, right? You go to a doctor, at least my experience is they only talk about how can I cure this? Why has it happened? How do I solve it in a stage where it doesn't happen? No fucking way they're gonna
So,
talk or discuss about this,
okay, so-
right?
Two things back. This is probably very interesting, right? The Western world, or in general, the today's today's medical science speaks about symptoms, right? It is symptomatic medical care that we get. Like, you have this symptom, so this you have, etc., etc.
This is what you need
So
to
it
do.
is like this is the general consensus. Because of this virus, you get this, but when you talk about something like Ayurveda, I'm not promoting Ayurveda. I don't know enough of it. But when you talk something about Ayurveda, what Ayurveda actually says is what you are saying, right? I consume this thing. I've been through this diet or this routine, and probably that is why I have this. So it goes and speaks at the individual level, saying, I consume this, I've been through this routine, rather than the symptomatic. So symptomatic level is common, right? You see symptoms across 10 people.
Symptomatic is
But
generalizing.
Ayurveda goes at the internal level.
Internal
So
and
that is why
subjective,
There is no
yes.
solution for Ayurveda than, but there is a
Yeah.
ritual, like there is a trial, like you need to go for
Trial
it
and
for some
error,
percent,
yes.
some time of days to come back saying that, okay, this is the change I see. I don't know which is better, but there is
Yeah.
a clear ideological shift when it
Yeah.
comes to symptomatic treatment and
Abrahamic versus non-Abrahamic.
Not,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, generalizing, not
so
generalizing. Right.
symptomatic
Sub-
treatment versus treatment via what you as a person are. Like, you as an individual are very different from the other person because of whatever you consume. So both of you can't have the same medicine because your lifestyle
Okay.
is very different. Right? That is what Ayurveda speaks about.
Oh god. Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
so to conclude, right? So we are almost at the end. I'll give my closing comments and we can follow. To conclude, right? So I think so this song is it's great because it speaks to the individual like me who is like, a lot of my friends ask, like, why don't you go to US? Because it's a very common trend. I don't feel like, to be honest, I feel like I have this anxiety of leaving whatever I've been brought up with since my childhood. So I am very close to my family. I really like my festivals. I like to celebrate all of them. And I have this anxiety, okay, what will be me if I leave all of them? I have this anxiety and I don't want to also. For whatever reason, I'm in a very comfortable place where I can stay in India, do whatever shit I
Yeah.
want. So for a person like me, it speaks. It speaks that I should put where my money is, where my mouth is also where my money is. Probably invest in something like a business in India, bring it up, employ it, more people, make it great, something like that, right? It also speaks to people who are probably in a very confused state. Yeah, what am I doing here? Where is my identity? But again, they see this song, because he shows a lot of authenticity in this song. They see it, they say, okay, this is something that I want to understand. What is this? They go back, they search. So at the end, every art is an inspiration, right? You go, you search for what this actually means. You find something out of it. You go on that path. So in that way, this is a great song. Like I would rate this higher than Big Dogs because it speaks to me directly. It speaks to me. It speaks to me as an Indian, saying that as a male in 20s, saying that this is your time. This is you who got to do it, not your parents. If you are not doing it for your kids, probably you have failed them. So it is you who got to do it.
While giving you a reality check, like he mentioned, right? Yeah.
Yeah, your closing thoughts
I
on the song.
don't
Or
know
should
if
I
I
go
have a
first?
closing thoughts like
Should I go?
that.
Should I go?
Yeah, please.
I mean, so when Sandy says about how he did not choose to go abroad for whatever reasons, and I having been abroad for a short while and then choosing to come back, I feel like even when I was in Germany, I had to make the environment around me Indian so that I felt I was at home. The food I eat,
Wow.
the people I
So underrated, man. Like,
the people I speak with, it is instinct, it is in your DNA. You cannot change it even when you go abroad. You will eventually be with people that you can relate with.
which brings back to his point that we are way more Indian than our previous generation who actually
Yeah.
migrated to.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have insecurities about trying to copy their culture at this point. We know
We are
what.
happy like this. Bring in pizza.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Again, they also embrace it. It's not like they don't.
Yeah.
Like they also embrace DEI, diversity, equity, all of
But
that.
comes from a different.
I know, but like at some point, the basic philosophy is to be the authentic version of yourself,
No,
right?
but yeah.
yeah, I
Agree,
mean,
but also
I mean,
disagree,
I
but
think
comes from a
you're
different
being
philosophy.
way too kind to DEI. I would disagree with that,
Yeah.
but I see your
Probably
point.
Trump was
But I see your point. But going back to what I was saying, this is something that I've been thinking like while this conversation was going on. So why did I do that? Why did I make my environment comfortable for me? So why do that in a foreign country? Just come back to my own country, right? I can
Yeah.
find it in my home. I don't have to put lot of effort to make it comfortable.
Yeah.
To turn the temperature of the
Yeah.
thermostat to 38 degrees to feel like I'm I'm living in Hyderabad.
Right.
Why? No, I mean whenever I have to step out of the house, right? If it's snowing, I'll have to wear shitloads of clothes and gloves and shoes to go out
Even
to
though
go
look beautiful.
to a grocery store. Like why? But anyway, I mean I'm not dissing on their culture. I was not born there. I do not understand the way they eat, the way they party, the way they culture. I would like to understand, but I would not want to mimic them.
Right.
I would not want to be one of them.
You can't
Because
be one of them.
I cannot. Physically I cannot, and mentally also I don't want to.
Possible.
And I'm not saying that I disrespect that. I full respect to whatever you're doing. You do. I'll do my shit.
Respect whatever I do.
Exactly. Give that liberty to
Space.
me, and that's what. And I come from that culture.
Yes.
I come from that mindset,
Yes.
and I'm okay with whatever fuck you're doing
Yes.
because I don't care.
I'll also probably do. I'll also say very.
I'll say okay,
I'll
yeah,
say you eat me
that's fine. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. I would do that. You're not doing it. That's okay. I don't care. But you don't interfere with whatever I'm doing. But anyway, so going back to that point of finding the homeliness in some other country, that's not something I would do. And when I bring this back to Hanumankind's childhood, that I've heard you people talk about how he has been brought up in Texas and he has an accent and he comes back to India. This video song of 3 minutes exactly represents whatever he has seen and probably I had felt when I was there. I'm not relating myself to whatever he's feeling at that moment, but I see what he means. I mean, I get what he means. Like the anxiety that he may have faced as an Indian born in USA, being a brown guy who is facing closed curtains, which he says in Big Dogs, which is a fucking great line. He means this. He means this.
Yeah.
He's a brown guy facing closed curtains when he's going out. Bencho, tum close kar rahe ho. This is what I am. This is what I'm. See what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't change it, bro. Like, you can't fucking remove it with.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, in that way, I feel. I mean, as I've been talking about how great the video is. This level of artisanship. I mean, the edit, the direction, the production design. You can't find in today's great big production houses in Bollywood, Telugu film industry, Malayalam, Kannada, whatever. This level of artisanship is not actually present. They are very competitive, producing great work, and that's art. I hope Indian films catch up with this kind of artisanship that is coming out today with 300, 500 crores. I don't think they made this in under 5 crores, or 5 crores is also big amount, but
Or even Big Dogs, right?
Big Dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Hardly
grew
2 crores,
because
I
of
don't
the
think so.
video, right? Initially, and then.
They
Yeah, I
invested in promotion,
Yeah.
not in the video. The video is actually pretty good and like decent.
Yeah.
But that's my closing thoughts on this.
Yeah. I don't know if I wanna be so philosophical about my closing thoughts. We've spoke a lot about some random
I would
shit.
just say-
In my terms, this is a summary of his personal journey that he's been through. Post Big Dogs, what he has seen in his personal life is what he just spoke about, right? Which also, again, each sentence has a subtext that reflects on his personality, his upbringing, the culture that is always there. But if you look at it in general as an entire song, it says about his struggles, what he has been through, how he has achieved some things in unconventional ways, what has changed, what is his future thoughts. Like he's trying to give it for the neighborhood, he's trying to find some solution. He's talking about capitalism, that nothing's gonna change.
Yes.
This is how my culture is. All of that, right? So, and the good. See, if you look at one thing specific, there's probably not a great thing in this song, but as an entire song, it relates to you so much.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you haven't been through that, you would never relate. And the perfect good thing is, again, this is not for the video sense of it. I think we should give Vijay some credit.
Oh, of course, bro.
We haven't
The-
talked
the
about
crew.
that. Like
The
there should
crew.
be, yeah,
The crew.
yeah, the
deserves a
crew,
lot of credit.
right?
Yeah.
And it's clear that
Definitely.
we haven't, three of us haven't talked a lot about the video aspect of the song or the direction.
Kalmi's music.
Yeah. Again, the ideology, right? There should be a person in his crew that thinks about, I will put this martial art here. I will,
So I think so. So when we refer to Hanumankind and all of this talk, I think we
it
are
is his
referring to
crew,
the entire-
Hanumankind and crew,
Yes.
right?
Yeah,
Again,
of course,
yeah,
of course.
So
I mean, it is that way.
there's a lot of things we can talk about that aspect. We did not, but I think a song in general is very relatable and it's very heart touching because it represents that underdog mindset. And so I like it. I love this song. It like, and again, even without the lyric, if I just play the music, I'm still gonna dance an Indian fucking dance to it. The
100%.
steps that I dance
100%.
without the rap is not gonna be Western. It's not gonna be a.
No.
It is pure Indian, probably a teen mar I do. Everything that you see in Ganesh
Yeah.
Nimarjan is what I dance just for that music.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing song. I like it. I like the vibe.
One year ago when I was hearing to all the Krishnas and kings in the world, I wouldn't have thought that 1 year later I would be talking about a 3-minute song from Hanumankind for 90 minutes with my friends. And like that's what he
Yeah, I mean-
that's what putting on the map is.
And the idea is we all three of us like this song.
Yes.
Which is why we decided we put some time to talk through it. So yeah, been
So
a
I
week
think
since
if
it
you're
got.
still here listening to us, you should probably subscribe. Share. This is my duty to do it.
Yeah.
So I should probably be saying this right now.
And we like to see people reacting to this because it's something that we haven't spoken on this channel ever. This is the first time doing it, and of course we are speaking in English, but about Indian hip hop, this is something that we are doing for the first time, and we don't know how the reactions are going to be. But this is our raw instinctive thoughts that we've got as we've seen the song, react to it, and put our thoughts.
Yeah, we've seen the song before, just to make it clear. We've heard it, we've seen the video, we just want to talk about our
articulating our thoughts was the first time that we're doing here.
Yeah, exactly.
On
Very
camera.
organically. Yeah. I think the thing I'd like to see about this video is like three of us, very different thoughts, we've spoke. I would like to know other perspectives too. Like if you have a perspective where like you think, hey, this said you've said this, but I feel like this is this. Okay, let me see what that is. Again, that comes from where three of us have been born and brought up almost very similarly. We've been to school together. I have known Sandy since 15 years or whatever. But you know, what is a different perspective?
Exactly.
There are some things, it is hypocritic in some nature because we haven't really faced those problems always as they did. But what would a person like that think, right?
But we have seen people.
Yeah, we've just seen again as a third person. Yeah,
Fourth
exactly.
person perspective we had.
Yeah, some things we definitely relate, but I don't know. I'd be curious to see what somebody has to say on that.
Yes.
On that note,
See you guys in the next episode.
yeah.
But
India, Bharat, it's our time. Let's not fuck it up. Let's run it up.
Yes.
Bye. Good night.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Run it up.